Hi there, I'm EileenCasey for EileenCaseyCreations, and today I'm going to show you how to do the Kitchener stitch, which is a way of grafting live sets of stitches instead of binding off and then seaming them together where I want this join to be on this wee cube, which would make a bulky seam. Instead you do the Kitchener stitch, and that makes it far neater. Now, it's a little tricky. The most difficult thing about Kitchener stitch is remembering it. So, once you've got that down, there's a little rhyme that not really a rhyme, but a little thing I use just to remember. And once you remember how to do it, then it's easy. But it's just remembering where to put the needle. So, I'm just going to thread the yarn that I've already cut, the working yarn, onto my yarn needle here. Now, usually your working yarn would be at the front here, but just the way it worked out with this pattern, it's at the back, but I'm not going to let that really bother me too much. Pardon me, I'm just going to continue as if it was at the front. So, to start, you take the front needle and you're going to insert your yarn needle as if to purl, and the stitch stays on the needle here. And then take your yarn round. Always keep your working yarn under these needles here. And you sort of work underneath from side to side. And then you take your yarn to the back, as if to knit. And that stitch stays on the needle as well. That's your setup. Then what happens is you get into the rhythm and the real working of the stitch. So how you do that is you insert your yarn as if to knit into this first stitch and pull it off, and then just tighten that up a wee bit, and then as if to purl, and it stays on the needle, and then round to the back as if to purl and off, and then as if to knit and on, stays on. So, back to the front again, as if to knit, and off, as if to purl, and on, as if to purl, and off, as if to knit, and on. So that's my little rhyme I have in my head. I just go knit off, whoops, knit off, purl on, purl off, knit on, knit off, purl on, purl off, knit on, knit off, purl on, purl off, knit on. And so you just continue. That's how you do it. Once you get the hang of it, you can see it's made a nice grafted stitch there. I can go back and neaten it up, pull it tighter and whatever, but it makes a nice, neat, invisible edge. Seams the live stitches together and looks nice and neat, and it's just always a good way for grafting stitches when you have two sets of live stitches. And there you go, there it is, Kitchener stitch.